All right, we're finally out here in the driveway with the Ford Raptor. Matt,
yes,
we know you're pro because Matt and I are working on a pilot for Speed Channel and Speed Vision, Speed Network.
Something speed, something.
Matt and I got
a
chance to work together just last week, and he's a total pro. So walk us around this beast. This
is my 2010 Raptor. It is the 6.2 liter one, the bigger engine. They just discontinued the small motor. It's an amazing truck. It's essentially a street legal, Baja trophy truck, but it's got Fox suspension. It's 3 inches taller and 7 inches wider than a regular F-150. But the cab is the same size, so it doesn't actually. It's actually the truck is within an inch of the overall width of a Hummer H1, but you don't.
But doesn't look as. And sorry, Hummer guys, doesn't look as stupid as a Hummer.
What do you think?
Just because you bought a Hummer doesn't make you stupid, but the truck to me looks.
I owned a Hummer H1.
Yeah, and what?
It was a shitbox. I sold it in 3 months.
There you go.
It was like driving a school. If you had 4 or 5 cars and you could take it out on the weekend and go off, this was my daily driver. And it was literally like commuting to work in a school bus, and I had to actually calculate longer drive times because it was so slow.
Really?
It was so bad. I mean, it was really, really terrible.
Yeah.
And you've learned from your mistake.
I traded it for a Mini, almost exactly like that one. And
straight up, right?
They still have the picture hanging on the wall of the dealership for the trade.
That is, geez, that's about 4,000 pounds difference there.
The Hummer was 11,000 pounds.
Oh, it was 11,000 pounds?
And it had 2 fuel tanks, 42 gallons of diesel it took. And it was just
only 42?
A yacht. And the seats were bad. It was like bad airplane coach seats.
I remember looking at this and go, even fixed up, they look like just such uncomfortable pieces of shit.
They're trash. They're trash.
They're out of business now, right? The Chinese didn't buy them.
No, I don't think that happened.
So we can smack talk them just like Saab.
The good thing
Saab is
Spiker
bought Saab, so we got to hold back on the Saab.
Spiker.
But this thing, it's really got most of the capability off-road of a Hummer H1. It's designed to do 100 miles an hour on any surface, which it will do, and I have done. You've probably seen people launching them a few feet in the air, which it can also do.
I like the trim. It's not overdone, but it's aggressive looking.
It's beastie, but it's not, unless you knew what you were looking at, you wouldn't know it was something besides just an F-150.
And what else besides, it's got the Fox suspension, or it's got the shocks on there. Are there any other aftermarket companies that got involved with this truck?
Not as far as I know.
Momo steering wheel?
No.
Recaro seats?
The seats are great in this. These seats are just about the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in a car. They're fantastic. But skid plates all around, and it's aggressive. It's got this really neat off-road mode, which remaps the ECU in the transmission to produce higher end horsepower instead of the low end torque like you'd want on a street truck.
Right.
And hill descent and blah blah. All the cool off-roading stuff is right there. The only thing it's missing are manual shift controls, which you don't have, and I would like to have, but.
You give up something.
I got to say this about Ford. They are the only company that I'm aware of that has the number key code thing.
I still have it on my Excursion, and every once in a while, you can't fumble those keys. You punch up your code. It's a weird.
I had a girlfriend that had like an '87 Thunderbird.
Same thing.
That had it on there.
Same button.
And it's a weird thing because when it comes to car company ideas, there's this sort of thing where it's like somebody comes up with a rear defroster, 5 years later, everyone has a rear defroster. Or someone comes up with a horrible idea, like the Landau top, the aforementioned Landau top, and then 5 years later, nobody, including the people that thought of it, have it.
What do you think is the worst Landau conversion you've seen aftermarket?
This is a weird combination of no one else does this, they've done it, and they stay with it, and it seems to work, but it's weird that it either no companies have caught on or they've not abandoned it.
Everyone else is doing keyless go
years.
now. That's the new thing. You know what? Actually, your Excursion, can you program your own code into that?
Yeah.
This one you can't. They give you a code, and that's your code. You can't.
Oh, really?
There's a stock code, and I believe there's a alternate code that you can add in.
I tried. It doesn't work.
I saw one of my favorite things is the guy driving the old car with the Landau top, where the thing is busted, so that when he's on the freeway, it's a sail. It's like driving a huge pita pocket on it.
It's like inflated.
It turns. Yeah, it inflates and.
Like a fat guy with a half-open motorcycle jacket.
Yeah, and in terms of your mileage, you must be trimming 15 miles off every gallon.
It's like throwing an anchor in the back of your car.
Literally, it's an air brake. I mean, it's what fighter planes use when they land. You know, it's like
that could be racing innovation for you. The Landau roof race car air brake.
For the brake. Yeah. Like, it's like on a bike you stand up.
The guy who's driving the car never knows it, because when he stops and he gets out of the car, it's down again.
Thinking, man, I look good.
You should make it your responsibility to inform these people.
Pull up next to them and give them
have a sign ready to go.
Remember this. Remember that nothing goes wrong with cars really anymore. Like you back in the day, you'd be driving around, you'd see a VW on fire. You know,
commonplace.
There'd be a lot of remember back in the day, you'd be pulling up the guys, banging on your gas cap's dragging on, your car's on fire, your tire, you got a lot, your tire's coming loose. Like there's a lot of get that wind, you dragging a body behind your mufflers. It's on the ground. Like there's a lot.
You gotta love the sparks coming off the muffler.
Remember the muffler dragging and the tire wobbling.
It just takes one speed bump to send that muffler flying at your windshield at 30 miles an hour.
I gotta tell you, this has negatively impacted the coat hanger business, because there could be cars with the antenna, with the muffler fix. It's 3-4 wire coat hangers on a car at a time.
I do it at the racetrack.
Really?
Yeah, the idiot that set up my original mufflers, and I'll use that term now because I remember it vividly. I'm hauling ass at Willow Springs, and all of a sudden I figured I just hand grenaded the motor because the muffler separated. The guy just slip fitted him and didn't put any band clamps. Like,
Make all kinds of noise. You think you blew the motor?
I thought it was like hand grenaded the motor. I crawl under there, and I go, fuck, and they just slipped off. So I got a coat hanger and some wire, and wired it so the mufflers would not go back, so it held it forward. But I'm going, coat hanger.
Coat hanger.
Coat hanger.
Do that with the
I'm not sure
one.
there's anything on this truck you could do with a coat hanger. I really don't.
Let's look.
Make an antenna. You got an antenna?
I do have an antenna, and I've never used it ever.
That's a candidate for
satellite radio.
Is the antenna? Is it fixed up?
It is fixed up.
Well, it's okay. On a Mustang, it makes me pissed. On this car, it actually looks right.
It's so tall on this car that any parking garage is
That's how I know I'm at my height limit when I start hitting the top of the cement.
This thing, I'm telling you, parking garages, it's like an inch or two in most parking garages.
It does ride at what, 6'9"?
It's tall. It's a big boy.
Let's take a look.
Open it up. It's unlocked.
Yeah.
Try the seat. I'm telling you, it's extremely comfortable.
Wow. That is nice. It's nice. It's nice that. Well, first off,
keys.
Nice gauge cluster. You have fuel, water temp, oil temp, and I guess oil.
Pressure?
Is it oil temp? What is
the one on the right?
Oh yeah, you got oil pressure on the left. What's the one on the right?
Transmission temp.
Oh, transmission temp.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice trim. Everything's nice now. The steering wheel's nice. Like everything's fits
Ford
nice.
pickup truck. It really.
Tack goes all the way up and then pops back. So I guess $6,000 red line on this baby. Should we throw a couple revs at it?
Actually, quite a bit of room in the back too.
Wow, that is plenty of room. I mean, I had I just turned in my Audi S4, but the back seat in this thing's every bit as roomy as that
I drive around with 5 people in this all the time, no problem.
Should we take a look at the engine?
Sure.
I know she got your radar detector up there.
Oh yeah, the Valentine one.
Can I ask this? I've talked to various guys about the radar detector. I think, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I've driven with one, we've tried them. I think the main effect, like I'm no sociologist, But the main positive effect of a radar detector is staring at a radar detector the whole time, just someone tapping on the shoulder going, hey,
easy.
It has a mute button.
And hearing the occasional, like my Valentine, like every 90 feet makes some kind of beep, nip, 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 nip. And then someone goes, it's a flock of seagulls, there's a trash can or something.
Cell phone
like,
site, something.
Here's my thing. You could take just pack of cigarettes, put some foil around it, put a battery in it and a red light
LED.
and say, listen, randomly about every 2 minutes go beep beep, and you'd never get another ticket because it'd just be
Can I help you out?
a reminder. Please.
First of all, you can all those false alarms you're getting almost guaranteed to be X-band, which you can deprogram in this. I have my X-band deprogrammed, and I only get real signals.
You're talking Greek now to him.
I'll do it for yours. If you bring me yours, I will do it for you.
All right.
And if I could tell you how many times that thing has saved my ass,
I
would have no license right now.
How does it work? Because you think, well, are you getting hit by the radar, or are you seeing it? You're seeing the trap.
There's a couple ways that it works.
And how about the hardwired stuff you put?
Mine is hardwired.
Oh, yours is hardwired.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way either it picks up signals that are reflected off of other cars.
Right.
And the Valentine one is the only one that has arrows, so it actually tells you where the signal's coming from and how strong it is.
Right.
Other radar detectors don't do that.
Right.
And if you don't have the arrows, you may as well have that pack of cigarettes beeping at
Sounds like
you.
they should send us a couple of these for demo.
Try it out.
They should.
Try
I've heard it was, and this one is the same one I have. It's like 6 years old, right?
You can send it in for a software update, but the overall design is essentially the same. Yeah.
Wow.
But it works. A KA band signal is 99 times out of 100 is a cop.
How about when the cop does pull you over for the, illegal lane change and then sees that? Does he get pissed?
It's legal to have those in every state but Virginia, as far as I know.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the
You
motor.
do want to stop it from beeping. If the cop pulls you over and he comes in and his radar gun's slung, you want to shut it up when the cop walks up to your car.
I gotta program that.
I got the toggle switches in front of the shifter there. It comes with those 4 toggle switches, so mine is hardwired into that switch, so I just flip that switch on and off.
To turn it on and off.
That's great.
Damn.
Motor?
Matt's not fucking around.
I
like the rims, by the way, on some 33-inch TAs.
It's 33, I think it's 35s.
I don't know.
Whatever. What the best part about this is, for the last 10 years, America has been trying to make trucks that are sports cars, the SRT8 Ram and the Lightning. This thing is good at truck stuff.
Well, that's what I never understood. I never understood even, obviously, Matt, you're a young man. How old are you?
29.
What the?
Matt misses,
Under 30?
He misses the day.
It happens.
Well, it's like there was the whole mini truck revolution where everyone was souping up mini trucks and squatting them and stuff. And I felt the same way with that as I did about people setting up the VW bugs for Mulholland and stuff. It's kind of like, don't fuck with something that doesn't need to be there. And it's if you want to have a fast Mustang, have a fast Mustang. But why do you need a fast pickup truck?
It makes no sense.
Drop it. But yes, having some travel on the suspension, being able to take it off road, being able to put some motorcycles in the back and go up to Aquadozi Canyon or something. Yeah. Fine, but why are you squatting the pickup truck and worrying about 0 to 60?
I never figured out.
Remember the dually, the
sport
phase
trucks.
of everybody buying those late 80 dualies, drop spindles on the ground.
Well, now the big thing is the 30-inch dually rim. Have you seen that one?
No.
They turn a dually into one. It's one wheel
like a
instead
barrel,
of 2, and it's just a giant 30-inch rim, and the thing is slammed, and the wheel comes up through the bed.
So practical.
This
is why.
Exactly.
Again, I say
West
about
Coast Customs, maybe.
And of course, it's a diesel with 8,000 horsepower.
About twice a year, I do have to admit the terrorists have certain points when they talk about our culture. Yeah, people would take the dually, they would get the Alcoa rims and squat the dually, and if you were pulling a jet ski that was the same color as the dually, you're fucking arrived.
Yeah, I remember they were like 4 mile per gallon, 454s of that era.
Buy a massive dually and completely ruin any utilitarian
Right.
purpose it might serve, and you just have a really big lowrider that doesn't do anything.
So the point
well.
is, a truck and should be used like a truck.
Exactly.
And this truck has a 400 and what cubic inch?
It is. It's a 6.2 liter, 411 horsepower, and 440 pound-feet of torque. But that's on super. If you put regular in it, you lose 10 horsepower, but it runs just fine.
And
So you
you
save
save a
yourself
lot
a
of
little
money.
money. Yeah, I mean, it's limited to 100 miles an hour, and it will get there under any circumstance, no problem.
And 100,000 mile warranty.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that like a 6-year thing?
5-year, 100,000 mile.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not bad.
With included maintenance.
The funny
Wow.
thing is, I'm
Everything but
looking for
tires.
like, you know, timing change in the front, but I don't know that much about this motor, but it doesn't look like overhead cam stuff. But it could be.
It looks like
I
it's
think
got
it
the
is.
room for overhead
Someone is going
cams,
to trash us if we're wrong.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
We can delete their comments at any time.
delete their
of
comments.
course.
It's not a very advanced motor. All I know
Well,
is
maybe
it
it is a
barely
push rod
fits in this
motor.
engine compartment. It's massive,
All right.
which is great.
Well, Matt, thank you so much.
No
We'll give
problem.
A little,
You got to
some
take it
look
out to the
interior.
desert and have fun with it.
All right.
You should. It's great.
I've had a lot of guys tell me that with their wives, but never with their truck before.
You go out on trails with this thing, and like your average dirt road, a comfortable cruising speed is like 75, 80 on a dirt road.
Well, like I said, I saw Tanner Faust sort of tearing it up in one of these things out on the desert. It looked like fun.
it is. It's great.
Matt Farah, give out your website.
TheSmokingTire.com. Check us out. This is actually our camera car.
Oh,
we
it
have
is?
a 12-foot jib that we mount in the back of it, and we use it as a camera vehicle. The smooth suspension is great.
Ganz, your website? No, you don't have one. And me, today, check out Ace on the House, back in my natural habitat.